Seabrook. Shout out to everybody on the check-in and the chat. Shout out to my business segment that I just have. Dre Steinberg of Design to Conquer. If you need help with your branding, please. It's important to get that assistance. So we have the resources for you. Make sure you reach out. And talking about branding, I want to highlight the new Blacks on Wall Street. Let me show this one. The new Blacks on Wall Street. You can go to the website, thematrixstudios.com, and order your shirt. So if you don't know, we are located on Wall Street, and we're taking back what we rightfully deserve. So we want the money, we want the moolah, we want the businesses, we want the respect, more importantly, and we just want to represent us in a positive light, with good energy, and much success to all of us. The new Blacks on Wall Street. Again, go to thematrixstudios.com, place your order. We got different colors. You see this one is the pink, and we got that. We also have the black and gold, right, dude? Yeah. That black and gold is natural, official. Yeah, that's the official.
That's this one here. That's the natural.
Yeah, you see it. So, all right. Well, now I want to introduce you to a young man who's a little nervous. I'm putting him on the spot. He's nervous. But so I received an email about maybe a month or two ago, like 2 months ago, stating that a teacher had referred him to reach out to me to assist him with poetry. So I was like, oh, how cute, right? You know, so it's nice when you're thought of, and it's nice when they actually reach out. So gave him a little pointers and tips a few times already, and he's done amazing. So first he only had just written poems on his page, right? So I'm like, I want to see you. People want to hear you, right? So, and it's not just you. Like, people like to see. They like visuals. So, and then when you did it and your expressions and the way that you were doing things, I was like, okay, he got some style with him. So he got a little attitude, you know, like, and so I'm really proud to have him here. So I said, let me bring him on to actually really get to know him, because I don't. So we have Agent Poems. That's your poetry name. Well, that's your social media name. Is that your?
That is my poetry name.
Okay, that's the stage.
I might change it. I think it's a little work in progress.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I like it, but I don't know. I feel like I should change it. Maybe do something different. But
what were you thinking of if you were gonna change it?
I don't have anything in mind at the moment.
Okay.
It's kind of a workshop idea. I need to work on.
Okay. Just relax. You good. It's the chair. The chair always make you feel like, you know, little kid, you want to spin around. But no, stay still so that the mic, we make sure that we hear you.
Got it. Right.
And, okay, but I like Agent Poems. I think it's kind of like secretive and cool. You just need to have like that theme song. Like, what's it called? What's that guy? You know, he's an agent. What's his name?
James Bond?
Yeah, you need like a James Bond type thing song when you come on stage.
James Bond, a Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
those,
something like that. So have you ever performed on stage?
Yeah. When I used to go to Democracy Prep, and they did a little like Black History Month thing, and I performed 2 of my poems there. So,
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Democracy Prep. I also teach for the younger ones in the after-school program with Social Butterflies. So that's how he met me, because I went to teach at the high school.
Yeah, Mr. Frimpong.
Yes. I didn't want to mess with his name, but yeah, shout out to Mr. Frimpong. Thank you for the mention. So who are you?
My name is Braylon Byrd. I'm 15 years old. I kind of just, overall, I do a lot. I play football. I write poetry, and I used to do piano and sing. But,
nice.
You know, like, once I hit puberty, I was kind of like,
because your voice changed?
Yeah. It was a major drop, so I was like, maybe I shouldn't.
Well, let me give you an idea. If you still know the piano, you should do some poetry to a piano, because I wish I knew how to play instruments. Like, I used to when I was younger, the xylophones. So I wish that, and this keyboard is still similar to the keys. But if I still had that, I just want just think about it.
I definitely will.
Yeah, and then maybe you can still do a little bit of singing with it. You know, you don't have to go crazy, but like maybe some of the words you could sing it versus just saying it. and do it to your keys.
Okay, I'm envisioning it. I'm seeing it.
So, and then with your voice changing, you just have to find your new
my new note,
tempo.
my tone.
Your new tone. So. All right. So what else do you do? What else you got going on in your life?
I just started going to Cardinal Hayes.
Okay.
So that's new. I don't know.
That still exists? Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That building is so old.
Yeah, I know, because I'm so old too, but no. in a great way. But golly, geez. Okay. How's that going for you?
My first year, it's been calm so far. I've been dealing with injuries football wise, but once I get that together, hopefully I can start playing for them and maybe take it to a college profession.
Okay. So is that where your goals are, to do football?
I'm not sure. It's kind of all over the place right now. Like,
well, you're 15 years old.
Yeah.
I'm 47. I'm still all over the place. I be doing this, do that, but it doesn't mean that you can't do as much as,
Keep your options open.
Absolutely. Okay. So football, but you dealing with some injuries. So, sometimes things happen so that you can focus on something else that you're great at, like poetry. Yeah. You could make a living off of it, just letting you know.
Definitely.
It's tough in the beginning, but
once you get out there, it just flows naturally.
So what made you start writing poetry? What was that?
It was kind of out of nowhere. I was dealing with a lot. I was dealing with a lot of grieving. I had a couple rough years where I lost some people very important to me. And one day, just sat down, opened my notes on my iPhone, and just started typing. And I published it, and people was like, "This is really good." So I kind of just kept up with it and just adjusted over time, wrote about different things. I try to keep it general as possible. Like, I know poetry is all about sending a message, but I kind of want people to convey their own message, to build their own message on it. And when people write poetry, they kind of want a specific message, and not everybody will understand. But if you can make your own message out of poetry, it's just beautiful.
Because it's all about perspective.
Exactly.
Right? So you could be talking about ketchup, but somebody may be thinking it's about tears or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You could be talking about love in a different type of way and not really saying love. And somebody may think it's total a cat or something.
Based on what you're going through and what you've been around.
Exactly. One of the recent poems that you posted was like that. It was kind of it was like, okay. I think it was about love.
Yeah,
I think it was about love.
I wrote one recently about love. I don't remember.
Well, it was kind of open, and then again, it's all about your perspective.
A little bit of faith, a little bit of hope. That's all it is. I do remember that part. But yeah, that one was based around. I know that people, after relationships kind of close up. And, when it comes to that next person, of course you're supposed to be a little more cautious, but they get a little too cautious and, they fail to open up, which results into, more problems down the line. So it's kind of a thing where, if you do want to be relationships, keep that little tight part of you, but also you have to have faith and you have to have hope when you're going into a relationship, because you never know what can happen. You don't know what you're throwing yourself into, but that's the fun part,
Look at this from a 15-year-old, y'all, teaching y'all some stuff. Y'all better listen. It's the young ones that really know, they're paying attention to certain things or things that they've seen from us adults, right? You're like, no, you shouldn't do that, auntie or cousin or mom. I don't know. Not necessarily saying you, but
my mom was a great teacher. My mom definitely stepped up after the passing of my father. My father was also a really great role model for me. I appreciate my mom for everything that she does. She's
Hi, Mom.
Lovely. Hi, Mom.
I made it. He made it. Look. That's what's up. Yeah. So shout out to moms.
Definitely.
You got a poem for her?
I haven't wrote one for her yet. Yeah. I should do that.
It took me a long time to write one for my mom too.
You just want it to be perfect.
Yeah, it's never gonna be perfect. And then as you get older, you can add stuff and it's gonna be. So yeah, I didn't do it till and she kept asking, right? Because my father passed away in 2008 on Christmas Day. So I have a poem that I wrote for him the day, for the funeral, but then I also have a tattoo of it. And she always like, well, when you gonna write me a poem? When you gonna write me a poem? But I finally did it. I actually did it for one of my big birthday events where I had honored my mom too. So yeah, everything is timing,
Yes.
So
Maybe for her next birthday, I'll give her a sweet little poem.
Well, or whenever you feel that moment, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, because that's what poetry is.
All in the moment.
All in the moment.
If you're not feeling it, you can't write it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where all my poems are written. I get an idea, somebody says something to me, text me something, anything. It could just be like, I should write a poem about that. I sit down, I relax, and I just start typing.
Absolutely. So, all right, let's hear one of your poems, if you don't mind sharing with us.
I think I'm gonna start with my personal favorite. This is I think it's the first one I performed. It's called Expectations.
Expectations on the Good Look with Poetry Bars and Hooks with Agent Poems. What's that theme song? You ain't got a theme song? You ain't got a We'll do that before you leave. Can we find something for him so we could send them out properly? Right. Go ahead.
Expectations will be the death of me. You think I'm known who I'm meant to be? You think too high or low of me, and when I do something you didn't expect to see, now I'm the enemy. Expectations will be the death of me. Because nobody can guess me. They think too high of me, and if I'm not what they want, if I don't meet their expectations, they're gonna want the death of me. Expectations will be the death of me. I know I keep saying it, but it's like a family recipe. Everyone knows it and shows it and treats it like a joke. But when the standards aren't met, now I'm the joke? No. Expectations will be the death of me. Because I seek the best for me. And if I'm not the charismatic boy you seek, you'll discard the rest of me. Yes, expectations will be the death of me. Because if I'm not what you want for a second, now I'm the enemy, like plankton stealing the secret recipe. Expectations will make you forget the rest of me. The part that I love most. Because the second I fall short, the second I choke, I'll be discarded like an abandoned boat. Expectations will be the death of me. And there's no avoiding the end of me. Because I'm not what you want me to be, but expectations will be written on my gravestone. And I want you to think, were expectations so friendly, or were you one of the expectations that were the death of me?
Woo! Give it up, give it up, give it up. Agent Poems, expectations. So, talk about expectations. What do you we heard the poem, but from, your perspective, why you wrote that and expectations. Oh, I know. That's a deep word, man.
Expectations is just can be really pressuring sometimes. I think when I wrote this, I was going through a lot, not only relationship wise, but just in life in general, and I felt like everybody had this high expectation for me, and I was kind of afraid to disappoint, and I didn't know how to explain that, so I just wrote it down in the poem, and that's how I was able to express it. I know that a lot of people, I don't like being looked up to. I like assisting people, but like dependability kind of scares me because I feel like I'm a mess up if you depend on me, and that kind of holds that expectation of I always have to be great. And I know that everybody makes mistakes and have their faults, some worse than others, but it's always something to come back from. But I don't want to be depended on or looked up to and then have that moment of weakness and
because we all do.
Exactly. And then affect that person who's looking up to me and have them think like they're not doing enough or that it's just messing with their mental. So that's what the background on expectations was.
That's deep. And again, I have a 15-year-old here. I got to highlight that. So this is why I love working with my teenagers because, talk to the audience and tell them, like you said that you were going through a lot of things, right? There's so many times where adults tell young ones, oh, you just went to school. Like, why are you stressed out? Why are you overwhelmed? Why are you tired? Like, what? Do you see the work that some of these kids got? And not only the work, the things that happen throughout those 8 hours that you guys are in school. Do you think that you don't go through a lot just like we don't go through a lot in the 9 to 5 or whatever we do in our lives? So talk to the audience, let them know about expectations from kids, right? And that you guys do go through things and you let us know.
Especially school-wise, there's a lot of tests, there's a lot of studying, and then kind of mixing that in with just your normal life. A current thing I'm struggling with is, again, with football. I want to be a football player. I want to go ahead and pursue that, but there's also a lot that comes with it. I'm a very social person. I love hanging out with my friends, but when that football starts, that's really not an option. You know, practice is from Monday to Friday from 2 to 7 p.m. Right. So, you know, that's one of those things you'll have to sacrifice. That's an expectation you'll have to uphold.
Absolutely.
Something that, you know, consistency is something that's really looked on into football. So it's kind of a thing where, like, you know, this is something I want to do. This is something that I've been doing since I was 8. But then when that expectation of consistency, when that expectation of expecting you to just leave and drop everything, it's just like, I'm not there. Mm-hmm. I'm not ready for it. And people come to me as a very mature person, so it's kind of like, you know, like they expected me to, I don't know if they expected me to make that decision like that, or like just had the idea that I would be more willing to do it. So when the time finally came, it was kind of like a frozen moment because I didn't know what to do. But school-wise, yeah, definitely, there's a lot of studying that goes involved, and, you know, like parents and older, what's the word I'm looking for? Older figures in your life try to say, like, you know, like with friendships and stuff, like not to get into it so much because, you know, these people might not be the same people,
same friends,
but it's like you want to enjoy the moment while it's there. You want relationships, friendships. You want everything to last as long as possible. So you want to cherish it while you have it.
Absolutely.
So if you are stressing about, you know, a mistake you might have made, an argument that you might have had with your friend, it does kind of mess up with your head. But then you got to remember, I got to go home and do homework. But then, you know, you probably have chores to do that night, you know, but you also want to play the game. It's hard trying to balance life, especially, you know, if you don't have a role model. I'm not saying I don't have a role model, but just
but you're talking for other people too. Yeah.
Some kids out there might not have a role model or might not know how to express their feelings if they do need help or if they do need somebody to talk to. So they kind of just bottle it up, and then bottling it up, then going to school kind of just, it doesn't go well together. So that builds the stress, they fall behind, and then it just creates a really bad cycle. Then, you know, the parents,
because then the parents, you're messing up in school, but nobody's really finding out the real reason as to why.
Why are you messing up in school? What do you need from me? How do you...
Excuse me. Well, salute to you. I'm super honored to have met you. I'm glad you reached out to me.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
I told you we mad cool with each other. Mom, don't worry, I got his back. This is what we do. This is what I do. I am known as Auntie Kim, in case you don't know. Like, I have a lot of nieces and nephews that are not my blood, so this is definitely part of, you know, part of what we are here for in our existence. Well, mine, personally. So, yeah. What else? You got another one for us?
Oh, I got another one.
Oh, he got another one. He ready.
I had 3 pin ones. I was going through them last night.
Okay,
I was like,
okay.
This one is called Another Life.
Another life.
All right. If I had another life, if you had another life, what would you do differently? Would you keep everything the same, and if so, why? If I could redo, I know what I would change, but a lot would stay the same. I'm just stuck on football. Would I do it again, or would I find something else? Deny myself for the good moments I had, hoping to find new trophies on my desk? Is that selfish of me? Self-sabotage even? I could explore new paths and see what I could have done. Actually, I would do everything differently, hoping that in the end, I'd end up back where I was. Because if everything was meant to be, because if it was meant to be, it would happen in every life. Whether it ended bad, sad, or good, you will cross my mind in dreams. I'll see you in my sleep, in that life I've done anew. If I was truly set to meet you, if I was truly meant to play a sport, to make a choice, to almost die, and so much more, then in this new life, it should be no different than before. Let life take its course, I guess. So I don't know what I would do if I were to live anew, but enough about me. What would you do?
Woo! Oh, gosh, that sounds like something I wrote. When I reflect, like, we talk about me, but let's reflect on you, right? So talk to us how you came up with that, why you wrote that. Give us some background.
At that time, I was thinking about quitting football because, you know, it was kind of stressful with all the injuries and stuff. And I was, not even with just football, I think I've made some bad life choices.
Okay.
And that if you know, with the knowledge you have now, as you get older, it's always something you look back on. The more knowledge you gain, you're like, dang, if I knew this when I was years old, I could go back and I could change this. So that was kind of the theory behind it. But as I was writing it, I was kind of like, your faults, your mistakes build you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to go back and change all those mistakes you'd made, all the mistakes you made, would you really be the same person you are now? Would you have the knowledge and the information that you had now?
Absolutely not.
I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and they were going through, having to be a relationship. They were going through a relationship issue, and they said, you know, like, he made a dumb mistake. And she was like, I don't like dumb people.
Wow.
And I was like, but you were once that dumb person. You once made that dumb mistake, and the only way you became this smart person. Well, I don't like using dumb and smart.
It's smart, right? Because
like
it's not. Because
inexperience.
Inexperience. Exactly. That's a better choice of word.
Yeah, the only way you became that so-called smart person was by making that dumb
mistake.
So you were once that person. So for you to feel so strongly about people who you've been in that situation as well, it was kind of weird. But
right.
She kind of understood after that. So
good,
it's kind of sometimes you just need a little perspective.
That part. Because I say it because there has bin that question, what would you tell your younger self, right? And my response is that I would tell my younger self, Kim, continue to make all the mistakes that you made.
Yeah. I don't even think I would tell my younger self anything.
No, that's what I'm saying. Continue to make the mistakes that you made. Do everything that you did, because otherwise you wouldn't be where you are today.
I mean, you not saying that you wouldn't be. You possibly could be, but you never know.
You possibly could, but you wouldn't appreciate it
as much
as you do now. So, like, here's a little ending of my first poem that I wrote on stage. It's called Thankful for the Pain. I'm thankful for the pain, the hurt, the tears, and the stress, because without it, I could not appreciate my happiness. You get it?
Yes.
Yes. So we soon to wrap up, but let's close it out with another poem, and then you can give them some encouraging words, let them know where you're from, and all that good stuff. But in the meantime, let's hit that next one.
This one
and
is,
breathe.
All right. Yeah, I gotta
breathe.
This one is called My First Love.
Okay.
I'm proud to say I've been in love. My first love has been with me since I was 8 years old. I forgot about it, but I came back, stronger, better, and apologetic. My first love helped me through things I hope a little kid would never have to go through. My first love taught me integrity, maturity, and leadership. My first love got me to places I would have never imagined. If you asked me a year ago what I would do with my life, my first love would be the answer. I would be able to explain why and how, and without second thought. I've won 4 championships, an MVP, and so much more. I wonder what happened. I'm proud to say I was in love. Well, was. I don't know what changed, why the sudden switch, the lack of love, the lack of determination and dedication. I must find another because my time with this love has run out, but I still have work to do. One last game to complete. A championship game, my last one. Until then, I'm up in training, trying to place my heart in a chest that's not mine, but pushing through because I'm scared. I don't want to look for a new, because all I know is what's right in front of me, at my disposal. My love is here, waiting for me to force myself to love it again. But I can proudly say I've been in love, and I can't wait to finish the journey one last time.
Aww. Salute, 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 salute. You are a great writer, a great thinker. The way that you express yourself, you're incredibly intelligent, and don't put no pressure on you. And y'all don't put no pressure on him, you understand me? Leave my friend alone. So let them know where they can find you. And then again, if you want to give some inspiration to somebody, please, by all means, do so.
I'm on Instagram at agent_poems. No caps, I believe. No caps. Just agent_poems. And if you're unhappy with your current life choice, go try something new. I think that a big thing that people go through is they're scared to explore new. You know, like the feeling of something new, feeling of something fresh, it scares them. So they don't put themselves out there the way they should, and they really won't find out their true potential. I know me, I didn't want to go to Hayes at first because I've been in DP since kindergarten.
Wow.
So I would be leaving everybody behind, and I wouldn't be able to explore that full potential because DP doesn't have a football team. So I wouldn't be able to explore that full potential, but I definitely took that risk, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it. I do miss my friends, but it's definitely something that has put me in a better situation, not only academically, but for what I want to do with my life. So don't let the fear of a fresh start or something new, something you're not used to, prevent you from being great.
And you heard it here on A Good Look with Poetry, Bars, and Hooks with my guy, Agent Poems. We'll be right back. We're going to go back into the mix, and then we have our next guests coming in shortly. Peace.
Streaming online at party1019.com.